Welcome, welcome, Derby Universe. We are at Statewide Stampede. I am Harming Miranda, and I am here with
Sparks.
And we're super excited to be announcing Game 2. It is Northeast Knockouts versus the Witches of Eastvic. I'd first like to start by acknowledging that Statewide Stampede Tournament is on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We remember that we skate, live, work and play on the land of Australia's first people. We acknowledge Aboriginal elders past, present and future and honour their deep connection to country and spirit. May we walk in their footsteps and learn from their ancient wisdom. Shall we go through the teams? What do you reckon?
We shall.
All right. We've got our Northeast Knockouts. We've got 067 Dustbuster, 09 Dubious, 11 Whack-A-Molly, 19 Spag, 20 Kitty, 21 Bangers, 300 is Hurdy Beetle, 400 is Calamity June, 45 Jack Rabbit, 600 Monk, 78 Vivian, 818 Dolly and 95 Keswick Powell. And on their bench we've got Scottish, Detention and Elemental.
And for the Witches we have 09, which is Natto Ninetails, 10 Never Ending Rory, 13 Knives to Meet You, 144 Butcher Bird, 2 is Evie, 23 Nicholas Rage, 27 Achilles Wheel, and I'm losing my place. 33 is Tenacious V, 351 is Push Up Ra, 4 is Shortbury Short Skate. That name gets me every round.
You can tell where it comes from.
42 Mad Mag's Fury Roll. 5 The Rumour, 55 Cupcake Fairy, 7 Jack Spite, 71 Pushy Tat, 73 is Chainsaw. And on the bench for them we have Knickerbocker, Jira Pornstar and Oopsie Ruckus.
Oh, I like that name, Oopsie. Obviously we want to give our love and our support to our officials Well, Derby wouldn't be here without them. Non-skating officials today, we have Abby Normal, Scare Bear, Frankenherder, Just Add Slaughter, Donna Kebab, Karen, Bullseye, Blizzard, Buster Hammy, and Intensive Care Unit waiting as an alternate.
And on the skates in the middle, we have our head skating official today is Gary. We have Disaster Chief, Florence, Misdemeanor, Siebes, Beck, Bussy the Vampire Slayer, and Rick Amortis.
So we are starting this game a little bit late. You may notice that it is not 1 p.m, but we had a medical timeout that went for 42 minutes in the previous game. So we're going to be playing catch-up. I'm not sure if we'll have a shortened half-time, but we are running a fraction late.
And while we're here, we'd like to give some thanks to our photographers who give us all the lovely photos that we look back on. And we have RXA Photography, Almighty Production House, and Lollapalooza Films.
Ooh, 2 minutes to Derby. Did that change? We had 3 minutes to Derby when we started, and I'm sure we've been talking a few minutes. It changed.
Hey, time to stand still when you're in Derbyland.
Yeah, you don't get that very often, do we? Yes, so Northeast Roller Derby playing Witches of Eastwick. Do we have the standings? Do we know who's sitting where on the ladder? I'm just calling for tech support.
Okay, so we have...
Eastwick's number 2. And Nerd is number 3.
Yeah.
All right,
They've
but
got the same
wins-losses.
Same win-loss ratio, so it comes
Just
down to
points. It's an exciting game then. This could, whoever wins moves up, or basically it's going to be the higher in the ladder out of the two of them at the end of this game.
Exactly. This is the round where it all comes together for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone will have paid by the end of today.
That's exciting. So if Nerd wins, they take Eastwick's place on the ladder. That sounds like a worthy goal to me.
It does.
Oh, and I love a game where it's not like black versus white. We've got bright orange versus purple. So our witches are in purple and Nerd are in bright orange. Eastwick are ready. They've got their jammer out. Their blockers are sitting there. They're eager to play Derby.
And jamming for this round will be Knives to Meet You, number 13 for the Witches.
If you can't skate, dance, I say.
While we're just waiting to get underway, I'd like to give a few shout-outs to the people that helped make this event possible. We'd like to thank Banyule Council. Diamond Valley Roller Derby is grateful for the support of Banyule Council to host this round, especially a statewide stampede. We also have Bunnings Eltham, who assist us with the cost of all the tape for laying our tracks, and we go through, I'd say, kilometres of track in Derby.
Yeah, that's a really good place to get a sponsor.
I know. They've also got Skaters Rink in Eltham for their generous donations to our raffles, and Be Kind Roller Skates, which is a community-based space in Thornbury selling skate parts and repairs, and they do remand, and Diamond Valley wish to thank them for their support as well.
This is a lovely venue.
It is.
It's nice and airy and bright. It's a surface that's not too different to a lot of our training venues. It's cafe, amazing spread that Diamond Valley's put on too. Sausage sizzle.
Oh yeah. I must admit their bake sale was fairly nice.
Yep. Looks like 2 teams are on the track.
Oh yes.
Rolling whistle. Jam 1. Game 2. Statewide Stampede. What are we at? Round 5?
Yeah.
So we have Knives to Meet You lined up against Keza Kapow. Both jammers hit the back of the pack and Knives straight through on the outside. Keza's stuck behind 2 of the Eastwick blockers, now 3 on the inside line on that second corner. Pack speed slows completely, so Keza's just got to push that tripod at the front out. No pack called. Keza comes out whilst Knives is entering for her scoring pass. Pushing at the back. 1 Nerd blocker to beat at the front. Gets past, looks to the bench. Calls it off before Keza has a chance to score. Eastwick 4 points. Nerd on 0. Nice clean jam from Eastwick to start with. No penalties, straight 4 points. That's how you want to start a game, right? It makes you feel good going into the...
Exactly. Oh, and I think we do need to do a shout out for our wonderful medics.
Yes. We used them.
Really owned their keep today.
Yep.
Now in Jam 2 we have lining up for nerdies, we have Spag, and she will be up against
Cupcake Fairy, number
Cupcake
5-5.
Fairy. Now, who's going to get through? There is, and Northeast are through for the lead. So we have number 9, who has got lead jam coming in for her first scoring pass. Ooh, and the jammer for East Vic has gone to pay a visit to our wonderful friends in the penalty box.
We've got amazing stats. She did a cut. We have a cutting penalty for our East Vic jammer.
Okay. Oh, we had both jammers pay a visit to the penalty box then. So we had a bit of a jammer bounce. Which, given that both of our jammers have paid our penalty box a visit, we will be going the full 2 minutes in this jam. And at the end of that jam, we've had a complete turnaround. We now have both teams on 12 points apiece.
Yeah, it was neck and neck, lap for lap in that last jam. Third jam, we have Strawberry Short Skate up against Keswick Power straight back out. So jamming twice in 3 jams. Interesting if this is like a power start strategy. This is their, like, she'll be jamming every second time for the whole game. That must be some super endurance out there. And we definitely have a depleted pack of blockers. We only have 2 Eastvic blockers at the front and a tripod of Nerd blockers at the back. Keswick Power is out, lead status obtained, whilst the Knockouts tripod keeps reforming in front of Short Skate. Done it myself now.
Oh, I know.
She comes around as Kez is entering for some points. Oh, Keza calls that pretty quickly. Don't think she got 3 out of the 4 points. No points for Eastvic, putting our Knockouts in the lead, 15-12.
They've been quite short, sharp jams.
Yeah, that one was. Well, I think if you're Keza and you're going to jam every second time, you're going to want to take a break.
Well, exactly.
Why would you prolong the pain?
Exactly. So coming out for this jam, we have 1-9, which is Spag, going up against
Knives to meet you.
Knives to meet you.
Knives playing a blocker role to start with. She's only got 2 blockers on the track, so that makes sense.
And we've got Spag through for the lead.
I've still stuck in her initial pass, the back of the pack, full complement of 4 northeast blockers, holding her back. Spag's going through for a 4 pass.
And we've now had a star pass.
No, just a stash. She just took it off to trick them all. Got through and putting it back on. It's the aim. It's meant to divide and conquer, yeah? So the blockers put half of the defence on the jammer and half of the defence on the pivot that they're expecting to take the pass. Nice, tidy 8 points for Spag there. Consolidating North East Roller Derby's lead. Knockouts have 23, Witches have 12.
So who have we got again?
Keza Radigan. They're just alternating Keza and Spags. That's a big game to do every second jam.
It
and
is.
the Rumour, number 5, first jam for them for Eastvic. Looks like Eastvic still have a couple of blockers in the box. Only 2 Eastvic players to beat.
Yep, they're in there for a multiplayer.
Multiplayer So Nat knocks out Keza at the back of the pack, recycles her. Knocked out again. Drawing back. Both jammers, it's like they have to start from the beginning. So two Eastwick blockers successfully holding back Keza. And now both the missing Eastwick blockers are returning to the track. So that can't be good for Keza. If two of them were holding you back, imagine what four can do.
Well, exactly.
But pushes out the front. Gets lead. Whilst Rumor drawn back again. And hit by the pivot from the knockouts. Can't see the number. 2-0. Kitty holding the Rumor back for a little while there, but she now comes out.
She's now coming out, yep.
Coming around to score, while Keza's in the pack scoring some points. Benching's telling her to call it off before the Rumor can get any points whatsoever. So a longish jam, 4 points worth, increases the lead 27-12.
And we have Spag coming out to jam again for Northeast. And we have an official timeout.
Yeah. Looks like we're taping the track. Always a good thing to do.
Yes.
Safety first, everybody.
And jamming for East Vic in this round will be a Cupcake Fairy number 55.
The knockout's taking the back line there in the on the jammer line. I'm not sure whether that's because they've got the numbers advantage or if that's their strategy for today. But
both teams are very even in their defence, especially in this first part.
Down the straightaway, yeah. Spag's getting recycled to the inside. Cupcake, yes! Leaps, stumbles, bounds out the front of the pack with about 20 feet. Oh no. Getting a cut on the way off to the penalty box, leaving Spags unopposed to score some points, and Spags has been given lead. So Spags has all the power in this jam. Oof, big hit by Pushy Tet on the out, drawing her back, pretty much back to that second corner. And Eastvic reforming at the back. Knockouts come through, do some O on the inside. And then come through and do some O on the outside. And now coming to a stop, pulling back so that Spags can push the Eastvic blockers out of play.
And their pivot has just gone into the box.
Oh my lord, that penalty box is getting, like, they're going to need frequent fly points, I think. There's so many visitors. We have Cupcake back on the track again. Now, being drawn back by the knockouts blocking contingent. Gets
And
past that tribal to the back. And floats around, hopefully to score some points. But we know how Spags has a lead. No, bench is on it. Oops, Spags hasn't noticed. Spags has no clue that she's lead. Not listening to the bench. Allowing Cupcake to score some points. Slightly infuriating, isn't it, when you're on the bench and you call it, like if people don't realise you've got lead and your calls are going unopposed. Luckily that was only 4 points that were lost to that lack of call.
And so
another official timeout. Not sure what that one's about. But on our score, 34. Sorry, 34 to Nerd. That was an 8-point jam for Spags, and she worked hard for those 8 points.
she did.
And 4 points snuck in there at the end by Cupcake, getting Eastvic at 16.
And lining up for our next jam when it takes place will be Knives to Meet You for the Witches and Keza for Nerd.
Actually, let's be honest, knockouts are pretty much liking these little timeouts. If you've got a 2-jammer rotation, any little extra breath that you can take to rest those jammers is appreciated.
Exactly.
That's so epic to go on with just 2 jammers. I'm very impressed at the lofty goals that are being shown. That's amazing.
And while we've got a bit of a break in play, I'd like to advise people of our wonderful stalls that we have here. We have merch from Diamond Valley, which are our lovely hosts for today. Witches of Eastwick do have some merch here, as well as we have Talk Derby to Me, Pineapple Page, and a wonderful bake stall, as well as Sausage Sizzle.
Yeah, so we are talking to the ether here. We're not commentating to the room, but that doesn't stop you supporting these groups.
No. And
everybody's got a website nowadays.
Exactly. I know Talk Derby to Me are online as
Pineapple Page. Yep.
And see...
Pretty sure you can get Diamond Valley merch online. Maybe not the bake sale items, but...
I'm eyeing off the stickers.
There's some really good ones. Get lower. We've all heard that. We all think that's our middle name when we start roller derby.
5 seconds.
Speaking of 5 seconds.
Good to go.
Jam number 7 with Keza up against Knives, as previously mentioned.
And Cupcake Fairy is out for the lead.
That's Knives.
Oh, Knives.
Black on purple. Oh, that's white on purple. I was going to say high contrast on the numbers. Not too bad. We're sending Keza off with a forearms penalty, leaving Knives unopposed in the pack. She only had 2 Northeast roller derby blockers to beat, so she scores herself a nice easy-ish. I'm not going to say easy, but easy-ish 4 points. Comes back around, still only 2 orange blockers in the pack. Lovely O done by her teammates. Oh, I lied. There's 1 orange blocker left in the pack. There must be something really attractive about the penalty box in this game. It has been quite a lot.
I wonder if they have snacks.
Yeah, maybe that's where the bake sale is, actually. Knives taking the inside line, beautifully cleared by her team. We do have 3. We have a tripod of knockouts now taking the front. Nope, 2. I'm not gonna tell you how many blockers are out there. It changes too quickly.
It is.
But Knives up against 2 orange blockers at the front of the pack. Skims on through down the inside, and we have Keza taking a big run up. Clearing that inside line herself, and that's her initial pass complete. I think Knives is going to come around one more time while she's got the time. Bit of O from her teamies, pops out the front,
and
calls it. That was an amazing jam for East Vic. Brings the Witches of 16 points for Knives, unopposed, bringing them to 32, only 2 points behind Northeast on 34.
This is going to be a close scrim, no matter which way it goes, I think.
I'm going to be interested to see how the endurance of the Northeast jam holds up.
Yeah,
because obviously okay. We're only 12 minutes into Derby, so we can't really say too much. But they've got a lead and they've held that lead. And
exactly.
Can they sustain that? I'm thinking yes. If we have this many official reviews and official times out,
this is true.
If we get enough breaks, Northeast are going to win because their jammers will be rested and.
And from after today, it's finals.
Yeah.
It seems too early in the year to be talking
It does
finals.
feel strange, doesn't it? Compared to historic statewide stampedes, finals always felt like they're October, November. But we've been having these around a month or around every 4 weeks. It brings us to now.
And we get to go to a new venue next round. We're going down to Sale.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is it
Yes.
down? Are we down to Sale? Where are we now?
Yeah, down. Because we're in the northeastern suburbs.
Okay,
so
cool.
it'd be southeast.
Yep.
North for us, though.
Yeah, it was like geographically challenged. Yes, correct. I am.
But yes, we'll be bringing our wonderful teams down to Sale for the first lot of finals.
Super exciting. And I love that you can't even predict who's playing who yet. Like there's still 3 games left today.
I know. And it is going to come down to points.
Yeah. I wonder what they're reviewing.
I'm not sure.
Working out their bake sale orders for later.
And we've been given the go-ahead for Gary to recommence.
So penalties-wise, knockouts have got 10 penalties total and Witches have got 9. So we're kind of even Stevens with penalties, even Stevens with score. Cupcake Fairy leaps over blocker 400 on the inside to get lead, or Spags is about, 40 feet behind? Northeast set up at the back of the pack. Prime target for Cupcake as she comes in. A little bit of O on the outside. Not going to call it before Spags gets some points.
Yes.
How many did Spags steal there? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So, Witches have taken the lead.
Certainly have. No points for Spags. One. Stolen 1 point. Knockouts on 35, Witches on 40.
So, we have Strawberry Shortcake and Keza jamming again. And we have another official review. Track maintenance.
Definitely worthwhile.
Down at turn 2, yes.
Yeah. Cheshire Cat helping out one of the refs.
Well, it is onesie round.
Yes, I can understand that was a temperature decision and a very smart one.
Though, there's not a lot of onesies.
No, it's definitely not the most prevailing fashion trend in the audience. Still enough to, like, you not be the only person in a onesie.
And hey, how often do you get to sit next to a mad cow every day?
Yeah, valid.
See?
Not very often.
I must admit, Derby do like the fancy dress.
Oh, yeah, I'm benching the Banshees later and I've got a costume. It's uniform, I've got something else to get changed into because Derby likes dress-ups, yes.
Yes. And so our Cheshire Cat has let us know that the track is open again.
Keza versus, Strawberry Short Skate. Pushed down to the inside, recycled to the back of the pack. Big hit by Monk there to the outside. Backed up by 4-5 is Jackrabbit. Oh, and Nada Ninetails taking Keza all the way back.
Yep.
Back beyond the jammer line. We like to call that soul crushing. Recycling the jammer.
As opposed to Dream Crusher, who plays for the other two.
Correct. Lead for Eastwick. Keza pushing. Two of the Witches at the front of the pack trying to get out for their initial pass. Scoring pass commencing for Eastwick. For
and
Nerd Block
Keza
at the
is
back.
now out and can commence her scoring.
Nada Ninetails heading to the box for the Witches. Short Skate out with their points. They're going to play it long. They're going to keep going. They've decided Keza didn't have as much success as she might like, and so they're going to... Or otherwise they're going to get Nad out of the box. They're definitely letting Nerd score some points, and whether that's because they think they can score more or they want a full complement of blockers, I'd have to pry into their Benchie's brain. That's
Better not first Joe players just come off.
Yeah, Keza's in the box. Now definitely would be playing it long if I was Eastwick. 1 Northeast blocker on the track. 3 Eastwick blockers on the track. And a nice, again, I'm not going to say super easy, but one of the easiest ways to score points is a 1-to-3 ratio on the track of blockers.
Exactly.
I think if you don't have to slow very much to get those points, it probably was an easy-ish pass. Okay, that one was easy. There was poor northeast pivot was completely wrapped by the Witches blockers then. Both jammers back on the track. Keza flying into that back tripod, but being slowed down and held.
And that's the jam.
Short Skate gets those final 4 points, calls it. Nice 16-point jam for her. And that wasn't even the full 2 minutes. So, really efficient point scoring.
Taking advantage of all the opportunities. Now, who have we...
No points for Keza in that jam, so
No.
60 points to Eastwick. Oh, no, there was. Like you say it, it's like you say it and then it happens. 4 points to Keza in that jam. 60 points for Eastwick.
Spag and Knives to meet you jamming.
39 for Nerd.
And it's Spag through for lead. And we have Knives coming. She's come through, so she's now able to do her scoring as well.
I have to say it. So Spag's got her 4 points real quick, right?
Yeah.
And they waited to call it off until Knives hit the back of the pack. Now you're behind in points. You don't want to waste time. You want to get your points and call it straight away, so there's more time on the clock to reduce that score gap. So I think if I was Spags there, or Spags' bench, the minute I exited the pack, I would have called it. to maximise how much time I've got to regain the lead.
Exactly.
Ooh, new jammer up for Eastvic. We've got number 42, Mad Max. She's up
And
against
we have
Kitty.
Kitty.
2 new jammers. There
Two
you go.
new jammers.
Nerds decided that, no, we're going to get rid of our 2 jammer rotation. Oh, a little bit of a juke there on the inside by Kitty, and then straight through. Gets herself lead. Mad Mags is 40 feet behind.
Yep.
Not sure they're loving the surface at speed. They're looking a little... Slides on their knees. I think blocking's very different to jamming when it comes to this floor.
Yes.
Kitty's not waiting to see Mags get anywhere near the pack. 3 points, Fast and Furious, reducing that lead. We now have 60 points to Eastvic, 46 to Nerd. And we have
Another official review.
timeout.
Official timeout.
We're talking about it. What do you think we're talking about? When the Eastvic jammer fell on their knees, they exited the track. Do we have to give them a skating out of bounds penalty? I'm going to say no. It was just a natural fall, and it just, there was no increasing your position, bettering your position.
No.
They didn't even shorten the distance around the track. It's not like they cut the inside corner.
No, because you've also got to allow for the fact you've got to get back up too.
Yeah, so... And I don't know if that's what they're talking about. I completely made that up. Oh, no, there's some hand gesturing. There's some kind of impact we're talking about. Or maybe it was how Kitty entered the pack, maybe.
Possibly.
There's definitely some hand signals, gesturing. Yeah. I can't lip read, so even if I could see their lips from here, that wouldn't help us.
And if you're sitting here at home watching this thinking, I have got to go and see this in real life, which really you should
be here. Yeah.
You should be here. We have upcoming dates, which is the 29th of July, which is when we are down in Sale. Then the 26th of August will be finals, and that will be done at Pivot City in Geelong.
Yep.
So between Bendigo, Dalesford, Sale and Geelong, we do a lot of travelling.
Oh, this is completely Victorian-wide, regional.
And we did Cardinia for the first time this year.
Yep. And that's a great way to see Victoria and roller derby.
Well, it is.
Oops. I'm not sure if Jack's meant to be sitting in the box or standing in the box, but they're on the floor in the box.
And, of course, one thing we all like is a tournament.
Yes.
And 2 days back-to-back.
Yes.
Which will be in September. Still details coming through, but that will be the East Coast Clash.
Yes, I believe that's going to be in Fitzroy, and that one's like national. There'll be teams from all over.
Exactly.
So we have 13 minutes 46 of Derby remaining. We're about to start. We're starting Jam 11 or is it Jam 12? We have Spags up against Cupcake Fairy. Spags taking a bit of a run up. 2 Eastvic blockers taking the back line. Spags goes straight for the middle of them. Bit of O on the outside. Lead jammer before we've even hit that first corner. Cupcake is... The pack sped up. So Cupcake speeding up, but the pack sped up with her. Taking that second corner at speed. Vivian slowing her down.
And now she's coming through.
Runs up on the inside. Just as Spags goes to get some points. Pax decides to slow down. Northeast trapping one of the Eastvic blockers at the back. Defining pack speed. Spags got 2 to beat at the front. Calling, and then calling more forcefully. Not sure if she got all. 3 out of the 4 points. 3 points for Spag, 0 points for Eastvic. Slowly catching up.
And
60 points to 49.
Coming up for her second jam.
It worked last time. She had success last time. She gave Spags and Keza a rest. Yep.
She did. And we have knives for Eastvic.
4 Eastvic blockers taking the back line. 3. Is that only 3 nerd blockers? No, 4. We've got 4 on 4. Oh my god, all of the blockers are out at the same time.
Shh, don't tell them. And we have Knives, who has been awarded lead in this jam, with Kitty now on her passing round.
So Knives gets her 4 points, calls it off before Kitty gets any. Witches hold the lead at 64. 15 points behind. We have the North East Roller Derby knockouts on 49. I heard... Nope, it looks like the official signal there.
And
We have one of the penalty box timers running in.
And while we're waiting, I'd like to thank all the volunteers that are here today to make our day. We've got people doing our internet live feed. I went totally blank, which means that we have wonderful camera operators. We have
people on the
family,
stalls,
friends
people on the
supporting,
doors.
Peeping on the door.
There's a photo booth. I don't think anybody's actually operating that, but somebody set it up. That would have been a volunteer.
Yep, exactly. And DVR will be here long after we leave, packing it down.
That's very true. Pulling up the tape.
Oh, yeah.
We've still got an official review going. Thinking. Spags up against Cupcake.
And we're about to go again.
One Eastvic blocker in the box. Tripod at the back of Eastvic. Very loud comms. Spag sneaks around the outside using her own teammates as an offence manoeuvre. Gets herself lead and has a half a track left to cover before she gets some points. Vivian at the front fighting Cupcake. Cupcake gets past, but Spag's going for some points at the back of the pack. Going for some points in the middle of the pack. One to beat at the front of the pack. Gets it and is going to call.
Yep.
Before Cupcake gets any points. Nice, quick, easy 4 points for Spags there. Shrinking that gap back to 11. 53 for North East Roller Derby. 64 for Eastvic Roller Derby. So with Quiddy jamming, they've swapped Keza to the pivot. I see. Looks like it's been a full swap because now we're just seeing Kitty Spags. Kitty number 20 up against 4 Strawberries Short Skate. 2 Eastvic blockers holding Kitty at the back. Well, not for super long. Kitty's like, nope, you won't be holding me at the back. And she gets 3. I have lost the Eastvic jammer. She's taken the star off. She's stashed at the back of the pack, held back by a solid tripod of orange. Oh, no, I've completely lost the jammer or the pivot I've lost the star. I don't know where it is. I don't know who's holding it.
It was
No, it's still, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, was just a stash. Short skate exiting on her initial pass. Kitty coming around. This is a first scoring pass, second scoring pass. 2 to beat at the front for Oh! Wowzers. When you try to call off and you don't put your hands down when you fall. Wow. I've not seen a body bend that way for quite a while.
It was a bit of a matrix move.
Yeah, looked a bit more gymnastics than derby to me. She looks all right, though, shaking it off. So, 4 points. I'm just going to wait for those points to settle because I assume she got 4 in the initial pass and then a couple. She only had 2 to beat at the front, so technically there should have been...
And now we've lost our stats.
Huh. So it was intriguing.
That's okay.
On the scoreboard, that last jam was 4 points to North East Roller Derby, 1 point to Eastvic. But we are well underway on the next jam, which is Knives up against Spag.
And who do we have coming through? We have Spag coming through with lead.
Just barely, 10 feet lead on Knives. Beautifully done by Spag.
That was.
Took a lovely quick inside line, untouched, gets her 4 points. Knives didn't get to touch the pack. 4 points for North East Roller Derby, 0 points for Witches. It's now a 4-point game. 65 points is our leaders, Eastvic. 61 points for the knockouts. We have 8.5 minutes left in the first period.
And we have Kitty and Strawberry Shortcake jamming again.
So Northeast are getting lead more than the Witches. They've gotten lead 10 times to the 5 times that Eastvic have got it, but it's obviously not making as big an impact on the scoreboard to get lead more of the time and not be in front points wise.
I think they're very evenly matched, these two teams.
Yeah. So I believe Kitty got lead then. She's still stuck in the pack though. Has she got lead? I thought I heard the whistles.
Yeah.
So Short Skate's coming through for their scoring pass. Was not awarded lead. So it's kind of getting bonus points. Yep, Kitty's not aware that she's lead. Getting lapped by Short Skate, who's got 4 points. Bench is asking Northeast to get to the front of the pack. Kitty's just realised that she's got lead.
And can call it.
Calls it off before East Vic can do another scoring pass. 4 points to East Vic. 0 points to Nerd. 69 to 61. Penalties are still even. 15 to 14 across the teams.
I think both teams are just incredibly even.
Yeah, it's interesting though that you can double the other team's lead and not be in the lead. I find that intriguing. Cupcake Fairy up against Spag. East Vic blockers at the back. Northeast at the front. Oh, Spag tiptoes down the outside line. Quick and easy lead before that first turn. Cupcake fights her way up on the inside on her tippy toes. About half a track between them. Spags hits her scoring pass.
Oh,
Being told to call it.
Yep.
Oh. Did Cupcake steal any? Oh, 2-2.
2.
I think it's always a tricky job for jammers. You've got to know where the other jammer is whilst you're trying to look for the gaps for the blockers, whilst you've got to count how many hips you've already passed.
And, do I need to recycle the jam?
Oh, yeah, if you get knocked out.
Yeah.
But team timeout to Northeast Roller Derby. But in that instance, she's being chased. The other jammer's quite close behind her. You want to, ideally you want to call it before they get any points, right? Because obviously there's a mental game and a motivational.
Well, yes.
You're giving away a little bit of warm fuzzies that you don't want to give. And so then making sure that you're listening to your bench, because obviously they've got a more holistic view. Because I think she didn't quite call as quickly as her bench indicated. And in the end, they came out with 2-2. Whereas you probably wanted that 2-0. Wow, what are we all doing on the floor? Oh, something's fallen. Somebody's missing something. We're all on the floor checking our wheels. We must have found a nut.
Reminds me of the old commercial, the wheel bearing.
I don't know that commercial.
Oh, I'm showing my age here. It was a very old insurance one. And the wheel nut went on the car and the tyre took off the car.
And the wheel just kept going? Was it following the wheel? And it causing... Yeah, I think I might remember it.
A whole lot of damage.
They found something.
It's amazing how marketing sticks in your head.
Yeah, they've done a good job when you can remember it decades later. I think Knockouts are going to be fielding a new jammer, their 4th jammer in the jammer rotation. It's Jack Rabbit coming out to the jammer line, number 4-5. Up against Nice to Meet You, who obviously has been jamming since the first jam. We have 6 minutes remaining in the first period. And we have a nice tight score, 71 to 63. East Vic in the lead. And we have an official timeout.
Oh.
I shouldn't laugh. Official timeouts are warranted and worthwhile and good for us. But it just makes the play a little bit stop-start, that's all. We do have one person in the penalty box. I've got no idea what the cheering was for. Oh. It looks like
a part was found.
Yes.
Whatever
it's
it was that
Spags' apparently. Oh, it's from a visor on a helmet. That's better than somebody's wheel falling off.
This is true.
So Spags is sticking her visor back to her helmet with the nut that was found on the track. And we are safe to continue roller derby. Jams commence. Slow start into the pack by both jammers.
Oh, Knives coming out.
And then Knives does a bit of a plyometric sprint and pops out. Jack Rabbit knocked to the outside by Nata 9. Tails drawn back to the straight. Knives tries to take that inside line and get all their points, but recycle to the back of the pack and up against a tripod of orange. Jack Rabbit pushing that front tripod, still on their initial pass.
And we have a witch in the penalty box.
Orange pivot comes out, purple pivot goes in. Nat's got her first 4 points. Oh, looking a little fatigued as they come around the outside. And Jack exiting the pack on their initial pass. Going to put some pressure on East Vic. Are they going to call or are they going to play long? Nope. calling it before Jack gets a chance to score. So an 8-point jam for Knives. 0 points for the knockouts. 79-63. So Nat's actually got 4 penalties in this half of roller derby, and you know you're only allowed 7, so
yes,
needs to pace herself a little bit. Jack and Never Ending Rory are also sitting on 3, and it's just Keza in Nerd that's on 3. Everybody else is lower than that. Cupcake stuck at the back.
And we have Spag out in the lead.
Spag out as lead. Oh, big hippity hop jump by Cupcake at the front there to get out of the pack. Spag pushing past 1 to beat at the front. Calling on 1 foot, travelling backwards, sideways on the inside line. Getting 3 out of the 4 points. Cupcake not catching up in time. No points for Cupcake. And now 79-66. This lead is just like get a little 3 points ahead, drop 4 points. It's sort of sitting in the... Jack Rabbit back out, number 4-5.
And Strawberry Shortcake, number 4. Short skate.
We want to apologise now for any future...
I'm a child of the 70s, what can I say?
We're just going to call her Strawberry.
Yes.
All right, Jack taking the outside, Strawberry taking the inside. Keza tries to knock Strawberry short skate to the in, but is unsuccessful. She gets lead and comes around for a scoring pass. Jack up against a tripod of 3 purples at the front of the pack. Dancing to the in, pushing, shimmying. Not having a heap of success now that tripod has moved to the back of the pack. Oh, Strawberry Shortcake takes on the last northeast blocker at the front, knocks them down, gets their 4 points. Jackie's moving the pack. That purple tripod's now at the front of the pack again, but not having much luck exiting the pack.
Oh. And Cupcake just came out of nowhere for that one.
Yeah, but Vivian says nope. Vivian knocks him to the outside, draws them back to the pack. Nerd tripod reforms at the front, whilst poor Jack being recycled all the way back down that straightaway. Still on their initial pass with 1 minute of the jam expired. Strawberry Shortcake out for another 4, bringing their score to 8 points for this jam so far. Jack recycled at the back of the pack. Orange tripod at the front of the pack, purple tripod at the back of the pack. 1-0 from each team trying to help their jammer. Oops, we lost a balloon at the photo booth. Jack pushed to the outside, recycled back 1 more time by the East Vic blockers. Strawberry pushing the last 2 northeast blockers. They're going to be out of play. Nat comes all the way back to her team, redefining the pack. 12 points total for Strawberry in this jam. Jack has got 11 seconds to exit that pack. And being recaught at the front. That was hard work.
That was.
2-minute jam, stuck in the pack. Beautifully done by the East Vic blockers, recycling, drawing back, recycling.
Yeah, 14 points for the Witches and none for the Nerdies.
So we've only got a minute and a bit left in this period. The score has gotten a bit bigger of a gap. 66 points for our Northeast knockouts, 93 for our Witches of East Vic.
So 27 points the difference.
Spags up against Knives. Knives takes the outside, is successful. Spags takes the inside, not as successful. Has sped the pack up though and only has 1 to beat at the front of the pack. Jack now pairing up with, that's Ra, yeah? Blocker pair at the front, successfully holding Spags back as Knives comes in to get some points. Spags out on their initial pass. Knives still contained in that pack. Just about to get the full 4.
Oh, yes.
Pack has sped up on the inside. Yeah. Knives is going to call it before Spags gets anything. Lovely little after the whistle tap onto Nat there, but you know, the whole I'm sorry, that was an accident, I'll help you up kind of a thing.
Yes.
4 points for Knives, 97 Witches, 66 to Nerd. 16 seconds left, so we're not going to get another jam unless somebody calls a timeout.
No.
Is that rain?
I hope not.
We now seem to have the background, dulcet background sounds.
Home will be even worse.
Oh no. Spags did end up in the box at the end of that jam. I'm assuming for contact after the whistle. And that means this jam has started with Cupcake Fairy unopposed. Oh, and it is rain. We have confirmation from the tech guy. He's got out the bomb radar. There is just a big line of water coming over us right now.
We've got another couple of hours just to sit and hide here.
That's right. Plenty more derby to watch while it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Cupcake gets her lead, comes around. Her team does some lovely offense to the inside, and she gets 4 points. Spags return from the box. Oh, even easier inside line for Spags. We've only got 2 East Vic blockers left on the track at the moment. 2 of them are visiting our frequent flyers penalty box.
I'm sure they've got snacks there because
has to be some kind of thing to attract them.
They're so popular today.
Yeah, very much so. So Spags is now almost caught up laps-wise to Cupcake. Almost, but not quite. 8 points in that last jam to Cupcake, bringing East Vic 105. 4 points to Spags for Northeast Knockouts, bringing them to 70.
And now we have a break of 15 minutes.
Is it going to be shortened? We'll find out. We'll have to let you know.
I hope that it'll be shortened.
But yeah, 35-point lead to East Vic.
I think they're shortening between the games.
Oh, okay.
Because these guys are really
you need a break. Yeah, if you've been jamming every second jam, Spags, you probably want a 15-minute sit down.
Exactly.
Amazing. All right, then I'll see you back here in about 11 minutes. What do you reckon?
No worries. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right?
Hey, and we are back. That was a shortened half time. We've only had 10 minutes, not the 15 promised.
Which I'm sure the players will be feeling.
Yes, they will. Especially our knockouts. They've only got 10 skaters that have appeared on the track. Eastwick have a luxurious 14 playing today. Nerd with just a 10. Just having a quick look at the team summaries. Witches have had 19 penalties to the 18 penalties of Northeast Roller Derby. And they've only had... Sorry?
I was going to say, Nerd have had the lead 13 times versus Witches 9.
Yeah, which is strange considering the Witches have a 35-point lead with their 105 points total versus the 70 points that Northeast Roller Derby has scored.
And so our officials are getting themselves in place for this next half.
Teams are doing their final chants.
And we have some refs dancing in the middle.
Good to see. It always seems like it's the skaters, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Like, why can officials not dance? Penalty-wise, let me have a look. Team penalty.
And for those that are joining us, possibly looking for the 3 p.m. game, we are still the 1 p.m. game.
Yes, we are the 1 p.m.
We had an injury
in the game prior,
which has set the games back a tad, but we have been shortening breaks in attempt to make up time.
Yep, shorter intermissions,
so
shorter
if you are
gaps in
looking
between.
for the KCR game, and I think they're going against Pivot City.
Then just hold on. They'll be here in after another half of Derby.
Yeah,
you should stay and watch this half, and then be ready for the KCR game.
Exactly.
So penalties wise, we've got 2 skaters in Eastwick that are sitting on 4 penalties. Nada Nine Tails and Never Ending Rory, and on the knockouts, Kessica Pow has 4 penalties. So 4.5. You don't want to sustain that level of penalties, otherwise you're going to miss the last part of the game.
Well, exactly.
Alrighty. I'm very excited that we have all these stats at our fingertips today. It's a little bit luxurious for a commentator to have access to all this information.
We're in a bit of a spaceship here between the live feed and the scoreboard and all the computers.
Yeah, so we can't actually see the scoreboard in the room, but we have our own copy on a monitor with the penalty tracking, with the jammer stats. It's an amazing setup.
I know.
So we're about to start our second half. We have Dustbuster for Northeast.
New jammer.
I love the fact that they're trying up things. Yeah, if you're not in the lead and you're not creeping back to the lead, try something new, see if it works.
Exactly.
Up against Cupcake Fairy, which has obviously been working, and I would keep putting out.
Exactly.
Very successful.
Maybe this was part of the plan.
All the time.
You never know.
4 blockers from each team. Nobody in the penalty box starting the second half. Not sure what we're waiting for. We could have had a 15-minute... No, there's the rolling whistle.
Okay, and we're about ready to start.
All right, jammer's off. Dustbuster sneaks around that outside line whilst Kitty knocks out Cupcake Fairy to the outside. Oh, no, it wasn't Kitty. It was a Vivian. No, who's number 9? Dubious. Good job, Dubious. So, points being scored by Northeast Roller Derby as Dustbuster now takes the inside. Cupcake Fairy does exit the pack. About 10, 15, or no, 20 feet in front, but Northeast knockouts are going to call it, leaving Cupcake Fairy scoreless.
And 4 points for the
nice way to start the jam. That's start how you're going to continue, right?
Exactly.
74 points Nerd, 105 to the Witches. 31 points difference.
And coming out to jam for the Nerds, this jam will be 19 Spag versus Knives to Meet You. Okay. And, yes, it looks like Witches have come through for the lead in this jam, with Knives to Meet You in the lead. Spag is on her scoring round. And another short, sharp 4-pointer, this time to Knives to Meet You.
You win 4 points, you lose 4 points. 74 for Nerd, 109 for the Witches. Back to our 35 points differential. Got Strawberry Short Skate lining up against Dustbuster. So it looks like Spags has jammed every second time, and then there's been and not a guest jammer, but we're now onto our third alternate in the jamming rotation. Dustbuster diving backward and forward, side to side, I should say, left to right, in to out, behind that tripod of purple at the back of the pack. Whereas
and we have
Short Skate pushing out the Nerd blockers at the front, coming around with lead jammer status, passing Dustbuster, passing their own blockers, facing the 4 orange blockers at the front of the pack, pushing them out to a no-pack situation, but not let go, really. They were sort of... the pack reformed with enough time. But 4 points have been earned. Strawberry Short Skate coming around for a second, scoring pass, whilst Dustbuster is being drawn back by Ra and Nat from East Vic. And
he's through. So Dustbuster has come through, so that they can now start a scoring run.
Shortcake getting 8 points total, calling the jam. Dustbuster almost touching the pack. Not quite, definitely not scoring any points. Extending Witch's lead by 8 points, 74 to 117.
And we have Spag for Nerd and Knives to Meet You for the Witches, jamming for this particular jam.
Feeling a bit of deja vu.
I know.
So Northeast Roller Derby have kind of wrapped that purple tripod at the back in an attempt to do some D and O at the same time. Good idea, but not successful, with Knives exiting the pack with lead status. Not far behind is Spags. And Spags trying to reduce how not far behind that
Exactly.
Knives coming in a little bit faster than I think they expected. Oh, beautiful juke to the outside.
And a cool kick call.
0 points for Spags. 2 points for Knives.
And we have Keza back out jamming for Nerd and the Rumour for Witches.
I think this is only the Rumour's second jam, isn't it?
She hasn't done many.
When I go to the jammer stats on our sheet, I get nothing. Two of the East Vic jammers on the floor. Keza pops out around the outside with lead. The Rumour's just being held up by Vivian, who's fallen. And is now about third of a track behind Keza. Keza's been told by our bench for points and call, and the East Vic blockers are at the back. Not sure. She came in leading with her hips. Bounced off that back wall. 2 points scored. It's always tricky if you're not in the right angle to tell whether hips have been passed or not.
I know.
There was contact, but whether her hips passed the others, obviously she passed 2. As evidenced by the points and the jam ref.
So it is Spag and
Cupcake Fairy.
Cupcake Fairy. And Cupcake Fairy has just come through with lead status. Followed really close by Mags. By Spag, sorry.
East Vic teamie is getting very excited.
Yes.
Spag's being recycled by Pushy Tat to the back of the pack. Well, Cupcake, skims around, does some dancing. 1 foot falls out of bounds.
And with that, she calls the jam.
When you've got lead, you can make that choice, yeah? Can I be drawn back, or I could just call it because I've got some points anyway. So we have 23 and a bit minutes remaining in this half. Our North East Roller Derby knockouts are on 79 points, and our Witches of East Vic are on 127.
And with this jam, we have Kez and Knives to Meet You lining up again to jam for their respective teams.
East Vic blockers taking back the pack. North East Roller Derby at the front. Tripod of purple at the back. Keza tries for the outside. Goes back to the inside. Knives pushing in the middle. Pops out on that inside line on the first corner. Gets a lead jammer. Keza a third of a track behind her. Knives entering for her scoring pass. East Vic have set up at the back, so all of her points are at the front of the pack. She skims down the outside line. Calls it.
Called it.
0 is... Oh, whoop. No, a steal. We have Northeast Roller Derby stealing 2 points. Knives getting 0 points.
Oh, and we've got a timeout happening.
Timeout or just a timeout? Team timeout to Northeast Roller Derby. They did get the 2 points there, bringing them to 81. East Vic 127. Whilst Northeast Roller Derby are talking all things strategic, I assume, all things about how we are going to maximise our points and minimise the other teams. We should also, again, thank our sponsors.
Oh, yes. Especially Bunnings Eltham for our track tape.
Track tape.
Track tape.
Red lorry, yellow lorry, track tape. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Skaters Rink Eltham, Benure Council, and Be Kind Roller Skates.
As well as giving a shout out to our stall holders, who most of them will have an online presence, which is Be Kind Roller Skates, Adoring Angels, Pineapple Page, Talk Derby to Me, as well as the teams from Regional Victoria, Gippsland Rangers Roller Derby, and East Vic Roller Derby.
All right. Spags coming back invigorated from that little chat that they've had.
Oh, yes.
Up against Cupcake. Northeast Roller Derby taking the back with number 7 Jack Spite looking to do some offense from the back line. Tripod of purple ready to catch Spags at the front. She does a little bit of a toe stop shuffle to the outside.
Yes.
Still, everybody's still pushing.
Oh, yeah.
And Spags gets lead on that.
Gets through for lead.
Bit of a tumble by Monk and sending the East Vic Roller East Vic jammer to the penalty box, meaning Spags gets to jam unopposed. Team comes in to do some O. Yes, no, yes. Looking like some O to the out for Spags. And trapping at the back of the pack, meaning the purple team has to bridge out the front. And Spags has less and less blockers to deal with. 2 to go. Up against Jack Spite and Rara at the front. Called out of play. And she's through for those first 4 points. Cupcake standing in the box now, so she'll be returning soon.
And she's back on track.
So Spags team going to do some O for her. Need to reform quickly if they want to stop Cupcake at the back. Cupcake has 1, 2.
Called it.
Few easy points at the back because they didn't quite reform the defense. No. I lie. Bad angle from there. No points for Cupcake. And 4 points for for Spag. 8-point jam for Spag. Juicing that lead that East Vic has by 8 points. 89 for the knockouts. 127 for East Vic. Actually, if Cupcake got a penalty during her initial pass, she was never going to score points then.
No.
And so then technically, Spag could have gone for another go. Could have spent a little bit more time getting points. You've gone onto that hard work to get lead.
Well,
Sometimes it's you know, got to weigh up whether you...
and lining up we have Keza and Strawberry Short Skate for this upcoming jam. Both jammers working hard to try and get through their respective packs. With East Vic out in the lead, which is Strawberry Short Skate, followed closely, half track, by Kez.
It's half a track between friends.
And 2 points for the Witches, and it was called by Strawberry Short Skate.
I think there might have been a point steal by Keza at the end.
Oh, there
2
was
points.
2.
2-2. 91 to the Knockouts, 129 to the Witches. 2 points apiece in that jam. So penalties wise, we've got a 20 versus 22 lead. We've got a 16 versus 15. And points, a 129 to 92. Nice to meet you. Up against Kitty.
Both teams have players on 4 penalties.
Yeah. There's so many similarities. Oh, looks like all of the blockers are blocking all the jammers there. It was a big mash of blockers. Kitty has Nat at 9 tails to beat. Oh, 3 on the ground. One of those was the purple jammer.
Ball.
Yeah, that was very, very pushy, hard to get
through. We have
through.
Kitty out in lead, followed closely behind Knives to meet you.
Our nerd tripod's forming up in the middle of the pack. East Vic looks like they're going to take that front line. Kitty being told to call, but has her hands kind of stuck to her hips as she's trying to get through a wall or two at the front. No points for Knives, 3 points for Kitty. Bringing our knockouts up to 95, which is still in the lead at 129. We
have Dustbuster.
Dustbuster back against Cupcake Fairy. 19 minutes of derby remain in this game.
As the temperature's getting cooler, I'm seeing more onesies and hoodies coming out.
Cupcake dancing behind a tripod of orange at the back. Jack trying to do some O, get them out. Pushy drawing back Dustbuster. And the roles are reversed. We now have a purple tripod at the back. And we have Cupcake pushing past Vivian at the front. Getting lead jammer. Dustbuster, to remember last time, spent 2 minutes trapped in the pack. But now has Jack at the front to beat. Jukes to the inside and is exiting. Coming around to score some points. Cupcake being held up by Vivian and Kitty at the front of the pack. Dubious gets a bit of action there.
And
2 points stolen again, so a full 4 points.
some sneaky points in at that very last moment.
Which is a very slow way to build up the differential, but from a motivation perspective and from a, we're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
Very helpful. So 4 points to the Witches, bringing them to 133. 2 points to Nerd 97.
Out for the jam this time for Northeast. And number 13, Lives to Meet You for the Witches.
Another low set pack. It looks almost like a rugby scrum, doesn't it? They're about to...
Well,
nobody's moving.
The game is rugby on skates.
Do you? Yeah, that's not a bad analogy. Oof. Big hit by 42 there on Kitty, pushing her out and backwards. Both jammers being recycled. Kitty's on the outside. Knives moving from the inside to the outside.
Ooh.
Kitty has 1 to beat out the front. I'm going to suggest quite out of play. Knives sneaks through for lead on the inside.
That was a slip through.
Whilst Kitty... Knives entering the pack. Northeast blockers ready to meet her at the back.
And that's been called.
Scores 3 points before Kitty has a chance to score any. 136 Witches, 97 Northeast Knockouts. The Rumour versus Dustbuster. It's a matchup I'd like to see. East Vic taking the back line again. Nat doing some O for the Rumour at the front.
And it's Dustbuster.
Dustbuster through on the outside, scoring lead jammer status. Oh, a little bit of a toe stop run by the Rumour on the inside. Sadly, the floor takes her out. Has to get up, allowing Northeast Roller Derby to reform their defence in front of her. Nat a 9 tails doing a bit of O to the inside.
And the Rumour is now through for her first scoring run.
Dust Bunny being told to call, but
And
sadly has been awarded a penalty.
No.
I'm not sure what penalty they...
This jam will now go for the full 2 minutes.
Cutting penalty. Cutting penalty for Dustbuster. The Rumour free to score at will. Well, not at will, really. At the will of the Northeast blockers. Vivian coming to the back of the pack to meet. Tripod at the front ready to catch. bit of O from Nat on that front tripod, but they reform again. Dustbuster at the back of the pack after returning from the penalty box. Whilst the Rumour gets their 4 points, hands on hips, a little out of breath by the looks of it. Dustbuster also getting 4 points. Oh, warranted. Not, you know, no shame there. The Rumour approaching the pack already with 8 points in their pockets, going for the extra, going for another 4. Dustbuster has 4 points in their pocket.
Oh, yes.
And now they've got the 8. Goes around the outside of the pack, has lapped, not that we get lap points anymore, has lapped the Rumour as they're stuck at the front. Oh, 2-person pile up at the front of the pack. How did that all end up? So many laps, so many points.
So
We have
9 points for Nerd and 12 for Witches.
That's not bad. 3 points difference with a 30-second penalty in there.
And it's a 42-point game.
Only one quarter. We're in the final quarter of roller derby. 14 minutes of roller derby remain in this game. We've got Kitty up against Cupcake Fairy. Ooh, now we have 3 blockers and 1 jammer on the floor. Everybody's up and racing again. Allows Cupcake to skim through that inside line for lead. But chasing is Kitty about 20-30 feet behind. Northeast Roller Derby have set up their defence at the back of the pack. Cupcake's going to hit first. Kitty's going to try and sneak up the inside. Stopped by that tripod of purple. Spectacular call off by Cupcake Fairy as she falls to the inside on her side.
That's almost artistic.
I didn't see who knocked her down, but 3 points stolen. I'm going to say stolen. If you're not lead and you get points, I think you're stealing them, yeah? 3 points for the Northeast Roller Derby, 2 points for Cupcake Fairy.
It's a very strategic move that they're actually getting so many sneaky points.
Oh, yeah, it's don't stop until that last whistle whistles.
And so coming out.
We just had... I don't know who's called this time or why this time has been called, but Spags was not on the track when that jam looked like it was going to begin. So, did an official call it dead? We're going to get a delay of game penalty for not fielding a jammer in time. And that goes to the captain normally. And sadly, the captain is a jammer. Something you would normally try to avoid, I suggest. She's swapping out the hat. Clever, clever, clever. Because you don't have to go to the penalty wasn't scored by the jammer. The penalty was scored by the captain. So, able to hand that jammer hat to somebody else.
And Dustbuster is up for another go.
Yeah. Dustbuster replacing Spags on the jammer line. Knives to meet you for East Vic Roller Derby. Similar pattern we're seeing now. East Vic taking the back line with their pack defence.
And Northeast are in the front.
Dustbuster moving side to side, trying to find a way through that tripod of purple. Knives pushing at the front. Getting us a...
Knives is through for the lead.
A little bit of offence from Orange blockers on the inside. Sadly couldn't be taken advantage of as Dustbuster had a bit of a trip. Tried to do some fancy footwork to the outside, but recycled back by Ra. Leaving Knives to just sort of, sneak through, get some 4 points with nobody's looking. Only 2 Northeast blockers left on the track.
And their captain is back out.
Now 3.
Giving Knives been recycled back again.
Knives getting a bit of trouble with the tripod of 3 at the front of the pack. Vivian trying to do a drawback on Knives, but no one believes her. So Knives just beats 2 orange blockers at the front of the pack for another 4 points. Dustbuster has exited the pack. Coming around behind Knives, who's decided to take them on themselves backwards. Knives wanting to waste a little bit of time. You've got a lead. There's,
why not?
11 minutes left on the clock. Slows Dustbuster down a little bit and is just going to wait to the last second to call it. Because, you've got a lead and you want to waste some points. Waste some time. Don't waste points.
Try the other players out too.
Yeah.
So much strategy in Derby.
That's why I love it. I can't go to the gym. I can't do boring repetitive. I need to think while I sweat.
Yes.
And roller derby lets you do that. Where else do you do offense and defense at the same time?
You get to push people. And you don't get told off.
Oh, it's a full contact sport, yes.
Yes. Unless you do, like, if you do that in real life.
Yeah, no, that's not seen upon as frowned upon normally.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes left, 109 for Northeast Roller Derby, 158 for the Witches. We've got Kitty up against Strawberry Short Skate. Oh, Strawberry sees the inside line nice and clear. Takes it, gets herself lead. Meanwhile, Kitty's, she's done it too.
Yeah, she's come through too.
Both jammers free and clear at the pack, coming around for scoring passes. Shortcake is, nobody's formed a defence. Oh no, East Vic are taking the back line.
Yep.
Northeast reforming at the front, but they've let it go a little bit far. We had a no pack situation for a split second.
Oh.
Kitty's.
And Kitty's through.
Kitty exits her scoring pass before Strawberry. Oof. Oh, again, it'd be interesting to see. So that's one stolen point there. It all counts. Like, if you lose by 1 point, you're going to wish you had have stolen that point.
Exactly.
So Nerd actually getting more points than East Vic in that jam, 5 points to 4, which is pretty impressive if you don't have lead, and brings us 162 to 114.
It's been fairly consistent with Nerd this game, that they're getting more points when they don't have lead.
Yes.
And jamming for Nerd, we have...
That's Keza.
Keza.
Keza Kapow up against Knives to meet you. Keza's pushed two East Vic blockers well out of play. They have to let her go. She gets lead. And we have Knives to meet you doing a stash. Jammer star no longer visible on their head, but is in their hand. Exiting their initial pass, putting the hat back on, but Keza's got one blocker to beat. Well, that's not true. There's now two blockers to beat, but they only need one more point. Like, they've got 3 out of the 4 points.
and
Calling it.
Yeah.
4 points and call. Knives not quite getting to the back of the pack in time.
4 points for Nerd. So the gap is closing.
Slowly but surely. With 8 minutes to go, it seems quite a big gap considering how tight the game has been.
It is. So we have Spag and
Cupcake Fairy. So that time Northeast Roller Derby tried to take the back line. Not successful because Cupcake's come out with lead status. Spags exiting after a no pack is called. Cupcake entering for some points at the back. One little hippity hop jump along that inside line. Now they're going to run it long. They're going to let Spags get some points. This is the stage of the game where you can go lap for lap. You will maintain your lead as long as you know you're not lapped by the other team.
Exactly.
So it's a definite winning strategy. 8 minutes to go. If you can go 4 points to 4 points to 4 points, you're not going to change your lead. The other team doesn't get a chance really to make much headway on that lead, assuming you both stay clean and out of the penalty box.
Now Dustbuster is now on 5 penalties, and Keza as well. Very majestic call there.
Yeah, one knee slide, calling it off. So at the end of those multiple laps, which is of East Vic, I'm going to wait a second. Looks like East Vic 442, meaning a 10-point jam for yes, 9.
So 49 points the difference.
10. No, it's gone back down. I thought it was 4-4. 4 and 4 and 2 is 10, yes? There we go. 10 points to Cupcake Fairy. And I completely missed how many points Nerd got. Meanwhile, we have Keza Kapow up against Strawberry Short Skate. Strawberry Short Skate has just...
Short Skate is through for lead
It's
status.
with lead jammer. Keza stuck behind a tripod of purple, but Vivian's come in to do a bit of assistance. East Vic tripod, actually East Vic 4 defense reforms at the front of the pack, slows the pack down and captures Keza. It's been almost one lap of the track, and she has not escaped the pack. Where Short Skate does a little bit of a two-stop pop down the outside, gets first 4 points for this jam. Keza still pushing, has done a lap and a bit now, stuck behind that purple wall of doom. Strawberry short skate being held up by one blocker.
And less than 6 minutes to go in this.
Bit of O from Nat, and we have 8 points in Strawberry Shortcake's favour.
And
2 blockers trying to stop Strawberry Shortcake at the front. Nat and Ninetails coming in, doing some effective O. Everybody at the front being called out of play, having to let Shortcake go. Well, Keza is now about to pass the jammer line for the second time without exiting the pack. I am just exhausted looking at her. So hard work.
it is.
Do we feel that she should have stashed and passed a little bit earlier? I think if you've been lapped
We've got a
once...
star pass happening.
We have a first star pass of the game. Star pass to Dust Bunny. I think the rules for stashing are as if you've not got lead, you should stash. There's sort of, you know, you don't have to pass, so if an opportunity to get out comes up, but if you're not lead, take it off.
And that was
So Strawberry Shortskate, exhausted but jubilant.
20 point
20-point jam, an
20
epic
point
jam.
That's an epic jam.
That's going to be hard to come up against with 5 minutes left in the game.
Oh yes.
And that was 0 points to Nerd because that star pass happened, but then Dustbuster was re-eaten by the pack, and so there was never a jammer. The star never exited for Northeast Roller
just
Derby.
over 4 minutes and 2 very exhausted teams.
Sparks jamming for Northeast Roller Derby, and Cupcake Fairy jamming for
And they're
East Vic.
running it down, and it's Spags.
Spags is lead, but they are 5 feet between
They are
them.
skate and skate.
Yeah, yeah. East Vic at the back of the pack. Spag goes to hit that tripod.
And we've called it.
Did we call it fast enough? How many points for 1 point for East Vic?
East Vic.
How many points? 2 points. 2 points for Spags, bringing Northeast Roller Derby to 124. Or 1 point for East Vic, bringing the Witches to 193.
Oh, and we've got a timeout.
It is a team timeout to Northeast Roller Derby knockouts.
And while we're sitting here waiting for their timeout, just a bit of a update. If you've come on looking for the 3 p.m. game, we've had a delay earlier in the day, and they will be coming up shortly, just after this game. It will be KCR, and I think they are playing Pivot City.
Yes.
Yes, so it'll be KCR Royals versus Pivot City, and they will be coming up shortly after this game concludes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll shrink the gap between games. I don't think they're...
between these two.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, a huge thank you to our first aid
Crew.
people.
Yep.
They're the one people we don't really want to have to see, but gee, we are glad when we do.
All right, rolling whistle means the Derby's about to commence. We have 3 minutes 46 remaining on the clock. We have Northeast Roller Derby on 124 and East Vic on 193. We have Mad Mags jamming for the first time for East Vic, I think.
And 300 is Hurty Beetle.
Hurdy Beetle. First new jammers for each team.
Yes.
Mad Mags getting lead jammer. Oh no, she did jam once in the last half. This is her second jam for the day. East Vic is going wild.
But this is the first one for Hurdy Beetle.
Very much so. And Hurdy Beetle is making their debut in the penalty box as a jammer today. Heading off. I'm not sure what penalty that was, but they are heading to the penalty box.
Mind you, Dustbuster is on 6. So Dustbuster will need to be really cautious.
Mad Mags trying the in to the out.
Oh.
Gets through for 4 points. Her team cheering and stomping. Very well supported, very well loved, obviously.
Exactly.
East Vic come and do some all 4-0. Mags knocked out to the inside and drawn back, but Nat says no. The blocker that knocked out Mags dropped to the inside by Nat and able to re-enter without having to go behind them.
And that jam has been called.
Mags decides to call it rather than be recycled as Hurdy Beetle re-entered the track. Alrighty. 200, the big 200 for Eastwick, because a 7-point jam there by Mad Mags, and 124 to our knockouts. We have 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining.
So we have lining up Spag and Strawberry Short Skate.
Which is taking that back line like it's been working. Why would you change it now?
Exactly. And
Nat doing some offense for Short Skate. Spags hot on their tail. 20 feet between them. Eastwick taking the back line again, reforming. Short Skate has to get all the way to the front to get some points. It does so. Sweeps around the outsides, decides to play it. Can afford to go lap for lap, as we said before.
Spags through as well.
Tripod of purple holding Spags at the back. Tripod of orange holding Shortcake at the front. Short Skate pushes through on the inside.
Pretty strong walls today.
Yeah.
And the
Spags taking the star off. Keeps a hold of it though. Uses that kind of
a stash.
Yes. Uses that split defense. Like when you go, where's the pivot? Then the old jammer sneaks through. Always works well. Oh, Short Skate off into the penalty box. Spags can get a few more points in what remains of this period. So the jam does have longer in it than the period clock, so this jam will now go to its full time.
Yes.
And it will be the end of the game.
It will.
So Spags has just got to get 33. How many points in 33 seconds? I believe.
Oh, look, anything's possible.
Very true. Spags coming around, already on 10 points. I'm trying to work out how she's got a not multiple of 4 amount of points, but I'm sure it'll become obvious. Short Skate back on the track, currently with 8 points in their pocket. Spags sitting on 14. Oof, big hit to the outside by Nata Ninetails. Short Skate coming back. I'm just going to wait and see where these points fall out, because I've got no idea where. I do know that Eastwick has won. That much I can tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the moment we have 15 points for Spag in that last jam and 11 points for Strawberry Short Skate.
With an unofficial scoreline of 139 to 211. So now we wait for the officials to do all their...
A little bit more math, cross the I's, dot their T's.
Exactly.
But yes, I think we can safely say Eastwick has won the game.
Oh, yes.
There's our rolling whistle.
And it's official. Next up, in a few minutes, will be KCR versus Pivot City.
Yep, another exciting game.
Oh, yes.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Derbyverse.
Yes.
Lovely to talk with this box.
Lovely talking with you.
And we'll see you at a Derby track in the very near future.
Oh, yes, definitely.